Hello and welcome to Adventurer's Rest. I'm your host Denny, who will be guiding you on a walkthrough of the Richard Shepherd software graphical text adventure Invincible Island. Richard Shepherd Software was a British software company that was formed in 1982 before folding in 1985. The software house was known mainly for its text adventures. Richard's job initially was an accountant who taught himself how to program on the ZX81. Elaine, his wife, enjoyed playing text adventures but was disappointed in the quality of the games doing the rounds. Richard at this point decided on doing one of their own. The company was formed in February 1982. Richard's dining room would become their base of operations in Maidenhead. Their first release would be for the ZX81, a collection of games and utilities under the banner Bargain Bites. In 1982, the company switched focus and started to develop on the new Sinclair machine, the ZX Spectrum. Richard's first program was a finance utility called Cash Controller. This was the first software program to use the ZX microdrive. The microdrive was capable of storing 85 kilobytes to 95 kilobytes at a rate of 15 kilobytes per second. Down the line, the company was relocated to Elm House, number 23 to 25 Elmshot Lane, Chippingham, Slough, Berkshire. Employees were hired in the process. Extracts from Home Computing Weekly, 30th of August 1983, timeline their journey. Richard's first effort was the strategy game Ship of the Line, which turned out to be the first one for the Spectrum. Eager to show their efforts, they travelled down to the Edinburgh Computer Fair. They were one of only 3 companies in attendance to promote software on the Spectrum. Their other well-known game, Transylvania Tower, was also taken along to the show, which was a single-player maze game. They couldn't afford a hotel, so they stayed in a tent overnight, only to be woke up by football hooligans shaking the top of their tent. The show generated a lot of interest in their products, and half-page ads started to appear in magazines. Christmas of that year saw a major uptake in people wanting their games, to the point Elaine and Richard, not wanting to disappoint people, were at the sorting office till 3 AM on December the 23rd of that year. A major breakthrough for the company arrived on the 22nd of February 1983 when W.H. Smith decided to stock Transylvania Tower across its stores. This title went to number 3 in their charts and stayed in the top 10 for 3 months. Richard would focus fully with his software company and quit his day job as an accountant. Elaine joined the company full-time on the 15th of September, and Richard employed friend John Salthouse, a friend that he used to work with as a manager at Dixon's, to run the company, which left Richard free to continue programming. Elaine took care of the artwork and to market the products to publishers. Another friend of theirs, Rita Lawson, was brought in to handle the bookkeeping. At this point, Richard had written Ship of the Line, Transylvania Tower, Everest Ascent, Super Spy and Cash Control. The company's next 2 releases were firstly the underwater game Devils of the Deep. The other game was Invincible Island, which we're going to walk through today. Invincible Island was sourced from an outside programmer, Pete Cook. Pete would also go on to write Urban Upstart, The Inferno and Upper Gumtree for Richard Shepherd Software. Invincible Island was the first of the adventures I played from the company, moving on to Urban Upstart not long after. These games are perfect for the beginner but hold enough interest for the more experienced adventurer. I first come across this game in my hometown Willenhall, Lower Lichfield Street in the West Midlands. The owner used to rent out games for a set period, very handy at that time for someone with a type-to-type deck. Sadly, this street has seen the shops demolished and now houses Morrison's supermarket. This is the area roughly where the shop would have been. More accurately, the shop was between the black car and the red van pulling out of that lane. Invincible Island is the primitive ancestral home of the mysterious Xaro tribe. Untouched by civilisation, legend tells that these island savages guard the unimaginable treasures of their first great leader, Xaro himself. Fortunately, you have more than just legend to guide you. Whilst on Invincible Island, Dr. Chumley, the world-famous explorer, sent out a last desperate message in a bottle. Amongst his pleas for help and rescue was a vital clue. First find the 7 Parchments of Xaro. He was never heard of again, perhaps the natives were hungry. Armed with this information, your quest is to find the 7 Parchments, which, if Dr. Chumley was right, should lead you to the treasure. But remember, treasure is no use to you unless you can escape with it, alive. So, onto the reviews, and I found several magazines, with Crash being the first of these to look through. The game wasn't exactly reviewed with a score, but the game was highlighted and given a quick overview with a guide. Appearing in Issue 1, February 1984, Issue 2 and Issue 4, the magazine stated the game was slow to load, but the gameplay was presented with a nice clear text and neat location graphics. It went on to finish saying the game had reasonably fast responses, which wasn't the case. Drawing the graphics in each location took an age, and did so again when you revisited the location. Thankfully these days an emulator will allow you to run the game faster and allow the graphics to be drawn quicker. The next one up is Home Computer Weekly from the 27th of November 1983. They found the vocabulary limited, but found the instructions with the game made starting easier. They go on to state there is a graphical representation for each area, which is true, but then they go on to say the graphics load quickly, which is far from the truth. They also praise the written descriptions of each location, which is a fair comment. They also like the fact there is a considerable number of locations, maybe for the time, but other adventures which followed this one had a fair few more than this game. Being able to record your progress mid-game was a feature they really liked. Finally, they said there are no hints in game, but there is a separate games in program on the tape to load if you're stuck. Overall, they gave the game instructions 60%, playability 70%, graphics 70% and value for money 70%, with a 4.5 rating overall. Okay, next up is Micro Adventure January 1984. The reviewer's first impression was that it left a lot to be desired, complaining it took the game an interminably long time to load and was also put off by the annoying bleep accompanying each letter's arrival on the screen explaining the plot of the game. The reviewer did say though that if they had left it at that they would miss out on a wonderfully compact adventure. Again, the reviewer liked the representation of the graphical locations. This meant there was little difficulty involved in determining your current whereabouts in the adventure. It was also stated the package had a load and save facility. The reviewer got it right when they said this game was an ideal, frustrating introduction to the first-time adventurers and poses some interesting problems for the more experienced player. They also thought it was good value for money and should provide hours of enjoyment for all. One last word of warning was not to sail away in the ship till you know where to go. Try it and see what happens. No overall score, but on the face of it the reviewer liked the game. And the next one up is Popular Computing Weekly, the 15th to 21st of September 1983. They thought Pete Cook, the writer of the game, had put together an interesting split-screen graphic text adventure, though they felt a little disconcerted to find they usually did no better than score a pathetic 0. Though there's a help facility, there wasn't one present in game, but there's a separate hints program on the tape to use. Finishing, they said all in all a very credible addition to the Richard Shepherd software stable, but no overall score was given for this game. And finally, Sinclair User 1983, issue 21. The reviewer starts off with a brief outlook on the game, collecting the parchments, and says how easy the initial start of the game is, but gives no indication on how difficult it becomes. They said wandering around without much help or help was to concede, but suddenly events took a drastic turn for the better. They thought the most infuriating thing about Invincible Island is just as you're ready to commit suicide and pull the plug in desperation, the problem facing you resolves itself and the adventure takes an upward turn. Finishing, they thought Invincible Island's graphics and storyline should keep everybody happy for several hours. Once again, no overall score was awarded for the game. Okay, before we start the walkthrough, I'd like to say special thanks that goes to Del from Del Boy's RetroZone. He sent me a very special gift of some Jabra headphones to help me with my text adventure walkthroughs, which has helped me tremendously. Del hosts a blog every Sunday, so pop along and leave him a comment or a question for him. All comments get a shout out on his video blog. Del has also not long ago started a new series called 8-Bit Years. Those are the games he used to play between 1978 and 1987. See if any of them trigger some nostalgic memories for you. There's much more to explore on his channel, so do yourself a favour and pop along and check it out. I also have other friends that also run classic retro game channels. Mark from 20th Century Gaming and Ray C. Both these lads long play the hardest of games from the past on the Commodore 64 and other 8-bit machines. Amazing skills and a fascinating insight on how they dissect these games to completion. And finally we got Dave from Dave Retro Games Played Badly, who's an avid games collector for his Spectrum to present day consoles. Don't mention the Commodore 64 though. Dave does the occasional long play on the Specky with gems such as Bruce Lee and the Renegade series of games. All my links to my friends are in the description below. Right, on to the walkthrough. Due to the slow speed of the background graphics that load in on each location, the emulator's speed has been increased to make the viewing experience better. You may notice a jump cut at the end of the walkthrough to reset the emulator speed to normal to view the ending sequence. Okay, let's start. You are in a small cove by the sea. A small boat is anchored here. Exits lead north, east and west. We're going to start off by going east. You are on a sandy plain. A deep pit is dug in the sand. Exits, we're going to go east. You are on a sandy beach near several piles of heavy boulders and you see some stones. We'll take the stones. And we're going to go east again. You are on an empty beach. Exits lead north and west, so we're going to go north. You are on a warm sandy beach. A small hut is near the shore. We're going to go in. You go in the hut. It is gloomy and muddy inside. You see a jeweled necklace. So we're going to take the necklace. No need to type the whole bit, just necklace. Okay, we're now going to go out. And we're going to look. We're back on the sandy beach again, so we're going to go south. And we're going to go west. And we're going to go west again. Okay, we're back to the deep pit, which is dug in the sand. What we do with this, we can just check how deep it is and if it's safe to go in. So we're going to throw stones into pit. You throw some stones into the pit. After a long pause, you hear a distant splash as they hit the bottom. So that's not safe. There are two other pits and I'll show you what to do there. So we're actually just going to drop the stones for now. And we're going to go west again. Right, we're back in the small cove by the sea. We're going to go west. You are in a green and present land. A track winds away to the north. You see a rusty key. We're going to take the key. And we're going to go north again. You are by a native hut. You see some food. So we're going to take the food. And we're going to go in this hut. You go in the hut. It is gloomy and muddy inside. You see a bubbling green potion. So we're going to take the potion. And then we're going to go out. Right, let's examine the potion. You examine the bubbling green potion. You've seen nothing special. Okay, we're going to go south. Back to the green and pleasant land. And we're going to go back east again. Back to the small cove by the sea. We're going to go north. You are on an open plain. A large rusty chest is lying here. Okay, we're going to unlock the chest. And then we're going to open the chest. You open the chest and a large coiled snake leaps out and bites you. You feel dizzy. You feel very dizzy. Okay, we're going to drink the potion that we got from the hut to cure ourselves. You drink the potion. So we're just going to look. You now see a parchment. So we're going to take the parchment. And we're going to examine the parchment. At the moment it's just gobbledygook. That will change later on. Okay, we're now going to go north. You're on the edge of a large sprawling forest. A sign stands in front of you. You see an axe. We're going to examine the sign. You examine the sign. It has some strange writing on it, but you cannot read it. Okay, we're going to leave the axe there for now. We're going to go into a maze. You must follow the exact footsteps I'm doing, or else you will get killed. So you're going to go east. You are on a path leading east through the trees. Exits north, south, east and west. You're going to go east again. You are on a winding path leading north amongst the tall trees. So now you're going to go north. You are deep in the forest on a narrow winding path leading east. Exits lead north, south, east and west. You see a pair of eyes watching you through the trees. We're going to go east. You are in the forest at the end of the narrow path, north, south or west. We're going to go south. Okay, you are in a small clearing in the forest surrounded by tall and forbidding trees. Right, so you can see a box, so we're going to take the box. Okay, we're going to get back out the way we come in, so that is north, west, south, and we're going to go east. Oh, sorry, west, not east. And we're going to go west once more. Okay, we're going to take the axe. And now we're going to break the box with axe. You break open the box. Inside is a faded yellow parchment. So we're going to drop the axe. And we're going to look, and we should see another parchment, which we do. So we're going to take the parchment. And we're going to examine the parchment. Still gobbledygook. Okay, we're going to go north. You are at the late Dr. Chumley's deserted camp. Two empty and tattered tents are flapping in the breeze. You see an anorak and a spade. Okay, we're going to take the anorak. We're going to wear the anorak. We're going to take the spade. Okay, we've now taken the spade, and we're going to go north. You are on a broad path overlooking a sweeping valley. A native of the island is watching you suspiciously. Exit north, south and west. Okay, we're going to we're going to have a look in inventory. And now we've got some food, and what we're going to do, we're going to give the food to native. You give him the food, he's very grateful, he gives you a phrase book. Okay, so now if we examine the parchment, we now get to see we've got a phrase making sense. Once we get a few more, we'll be able to tell what it is. So from here, we're going to drop the spade here. And now we're going to go north. You are on a hill overlooking a valley. A deep pit is dug into the ground. Exits lead north, south and down. For now, we're going to go north. You are at the foot of a strong wall. We're going to go east. You're at the foot of a wall. We're going to go north. You're outside a long stockade. A solid door blocks your path. We're just going to go in. Okay, you go in. You're in the courtyard of a magnificent temple. Heavy stone steps lead upstairs or upwards. We're going to go up. You're inside the temple. A jeweled encrusted altar stands by the far wall. You see a red key, so we're going to take the red key. Okay, we've now taken the red key, and we're going to go back down again. And we're going to go east and back down south, and we're going to go west again and finally south, so we're back down. Okay, let's see what we've got. We don't need the rusty key anymore, so we're just going to drop key. Right, okay, all good from there. Right, let's have a look at the area again. Oh, we dropped the wrong key, so I'm going to drop the rusty key again, and we're going to take the red key back up again. Okay, so we're going to go down. Whatever you do, don't type in at that point where the pit is, or else it will kill you. So you are in a lush green valley. Exits lead east and up, so we're going to go east. You are at the foothills of a wide and sweeping mountain range. You see a tatty old map. Okay, we're going to take the map. We're going to go east. Well, actually, now we're going to go up. You are deep in the mountains on a narrow path leading upwards, so we're going to go up again. You're on the peak of a tall snow-covered mountain. You see a parchment, so we're going to take the parchment. And we're going to examine parchment. So a few more now. Okay, so we're going to just go back down again. And we're going to go down again. Okay, exits lead east, west and up. So we're going to go east. You're at the entrance to an ornate pagoda, hidden by the tall peaks. A broad path leads to the red oak door. Okay, we're going to unlock the door with the red key we've picked up. We're going to open the door and simply type in from here. You're inside the pagoda in a sweeping circular room. An old wizened native is watching you. So if we look in our inventory, we now have the necklace, which I'm going to give to him. So give necklace to native. You give him the necklace, he's very grateful, he gives you a parchment. I don't know whether he drops that on the floor or he just gives it you, so I'm just going to examine the parchment just to see what he's given us. More parts of the puzzle. Excellent. So now we're just going to type out to come out. We're going to go back west. And we're going to go west again. And we're going to go, excuse me, we're going to go up. Okay, so we don't need the anorak now because we've been up the mountain. See if there's anything else we don't want. We don't want the red key, so drop the key. Okay, from here we're going to go south. Take the spade. And we're going to go west. You're in a deserted land. 3 stone pillars stand crumbling in the pale sunlight. You see a torch. Okay, we're going to take the torch. And we're going to go west again. You go west, you would buy a path in a dead and silent plain. We're going to drop the spade here for later on, which will be called apparent. And we're going to go back east. And we're going to go east again. Oh, we've gone east one too many, so we just go back west and south. Right, you are at the foot of a tall dark cliff. A small passage leads to the west. You see a caged yellow canary. You don't really need this, but just for the walkthrough, let's take the canary. From here we're going to light the torch before we go into the caves. So we've lit the torch. Okay, let's go west. You are in a maze of underground caves under the cliff. Exits are south and west. We're going to go south. You're in a narrow passage deep underground. Exits lead north, south and west. We're going to go south yet again. You're in a maze of gloomy caverns. Exits lead north, south and west. So we're going to go south again. Right, obviously there's gas in the area. Your canary has just collapsed. So from here, the exit we'll be taking is west. You are in a large cave deep in the ground. 3 tunnels lead off in a different, tunnels lead off in different directions. You see a parchment, so we're going to take the parchment. Let's examine parchment. Oh, would it help if I spelt it right? Okay, nearly there. Right, from here we're going to go north. You're in a maze of gloomy caves, north, south, east and west. We're going to go west. You're in a maze of damp caves. You see a sword. It isn't applicable for some reason. This is a red herring. It's not used in the walkthrough at all. So we're going to leave that and go north. You're in a maze of passages and caves. We go north again. You're in a maze of caves. A dim light shows to the north. We're going to go north again. Okay, we're out. You're at the foot of a tall cliff. Exits are north and east, so we're going to go north. You're by a pit in the sand. Okay, so from here, let's have a look, see what we've got to drop. Let's drop the torch, which we don't need anymore. And we're going to drop the canary. Okay. So let's look again. You're by a deep pit in the sand. Right, from here we're going to go in. You go in the pit. It is a dried up old well which has a parchment. So we're going to take parchment and let's examine parchment. Right, we're nearly there now. We need one more parchment piece. So from here we're going to go east. Oh, you'll have to get out the pit first, of course. So we're going to type out. You go out to the pit east. You're by the edge of a clear blue lake. You see a foot pump. So take foot pump. And we're going to go north. You're at the edge of a calm blue lake. Exits lead south and west. So we're going to go west. You're by a river winding through a green and pleasant land. Exits north, south and east. So we're going to go north. You are near the source of a winding river. A frail and rickety bridge leads across. Okay. We need to drop as much as we can or else the bridge will collapse and you will die. So we're going to drop the phrase book. We are going to drop the map. So we only got the foot pump and the parchment, and now we're just going to cross the bridge. So I'll just type cross. You cross the bridge. You're on the empty beach. You are on an empty beach near the shore of a lake. You see a wooden package. So we're going to take the package. Okay, from here we're going to examine the package. You examine the package. It is an inflatable dinghy. Right, you've got the foot pump, so we're just going to type inflate. You inflate the dinghy. Let's look where we are. You're on the empty beach near the shore of a lake. Exits lead east and west, so we're going to go east. You're on the shore of a calm blue lake. A small island can be seen in the distance. Exits lead west. Okay, so we're going to cross this lake. You cross the island in the dinghy. You're on a rocky, sand-covered island surrounded by clear blue waters. You see a parchment. So let's take the parchment. Let's see if we can examine it. Spelling. Okay, it's all gobbledygook without the phrase book. So we're just going to cross the lake again. You cross to the mainland in the dinghy. You're on the shore of a calm blue lake again. A small island can be seen again in the distance, which you've just crossed to. We're going to drop the dinghy. And we're going to go west. You're back on the empty beach near the shore of a lake, and we're going to go west yet again. We're back to the rickety bridge. Let's pick up, take the phrase book. And we're going to take the map. Okay, so let's examine the phrase book. Okay. You examine the phrase book, you see nothing special. Well, you wouldn't, because I've got to examine the parchment. Sorry, spelling. Okay. When the first page is complete, look and you'll find west of the sun and the ancient temple amongst the bounds of our ancestors. So you'll see where I dropped the spade. That's where we'll be digging. and hopefully we'll find something. Okay, so let's have a look where we are. So we're going to go south, east, and we're going to go south again. Right, and we're going to go south yet again. You are in a barren and deserted land. You see the skull, so let's have a look what we've got. So we don't need the foot pump, so we can drop the foot pump. Okay, we're going to take a skull, and we're going to go east. Right, we're back to the dead and silent plain. You see a spade, so let's take spade, and we're going to dig. You dig into the soil and uncover a huge pile of gold, so we're going to take the gold. Right, we've now taken the gold, so we're going to go east. You are in the deserted land again with the 3 stone pillars. Now it's important that you follow this, or else the natives will come after you and kill you. So from here we go south, and we're going to go south again, and we're going to go south again, back to the native hut. Okay, I think we go south once more, and we go, oh well, actually let's have a look, see what we've got now. So we're going to drop the phrase book, drop the spade, let's have a look what we've got. Okay, so we go east. Right, you are in the back to the small cove by the sea. A small boat is anchored here, so we're going to drop the skull. Right, now you see a swarm of natives brandishing swords and spears in the distance. Okay, from here now, all we got to do is sail boat. You sail away from Xaro and escape alive with the treasure to the mainland. Congratulations, you made it. Your score is 100. Do you want to try again? No, I do not. Okay, thank you. That was Invincible Island on the Spectrum. So until next time, this is Denny for Adventurer's Rest, signing out.